everybody. Today I thought I would take you through hypothesis testing and make it very easy for you all. So I was thinking, let's take an example of you being a producer of butter, any butter, Amul butter, whatever butter, and you produce 1,000 units of butter a day. Do you think you can eat all the butter and taste it before you sell it in the market? You won't have anything to sell, right? So what do you think we should do? Probably if you're producing 1,000 units of butter a day, maybe 10 units you will taste or sample, correct? So if you sample 10 units of butter, there are 990 units which are, the rest or the population. Let's call that the population, and what you're tasting as the sample. So now there are different outcomes which are possible, and of course you will always decide how the population is based on the way the sample tastes. So suppose the sample tasted good and the population was also good. So if the sample tastes good, what will you do? You will go ahead and sell it in the market. So the 990 samples get sold in the market. You are happy, consumers happy, no problem, right decision made. Now you tasted the sample, it was bad, and you decided the 990 are also bad, and you threw it away, and they were actually bad. So any problem? No problem, you made a right decision again. But now there are other possibilities as well. You tasted these 10 samples and they were bad, didn't taste good at all. So what did you do? You threw away the 990, of course, because you're not going to sit and taste all of that. You thought these 10 are bad, so those are also bad, and you threw it away. But what if that 990 were actually good? Who suffers now? You did, the producer. The producer suffers because based on a bad sample, he rejected a good population. This is called producer risk. Now, the last possibility. You tasted the butter and it was really good. 10 pieces were really good. So you decided to sell the 990, or what we call the population, in the market. But sadly, the 990 were not good at all. Now what happens? Who suffers? The poor consumer who bought it. He will be from some tummy upsets. So who's suffering now? The consumer. So based on a good sample, if you accept a bad population, that is a consumer risk, or also called beta error or type 2 error. So simple. So based on a bad sample, if you reject a good population, it's a producer risk or alpha error or type 1 error. And based on a good sample, you accept a bad population, it's called a consumer risk or beta error or type 2 error. So that's it. Now you know what's a producer risk and what's a consumer risk. So based on this, you decide the p-value indicates to you whether to go with the null hypothesis or to go with the alternate hypothesis. When p is greater than 0.05, you will always go with the null hypothesis. And if p is less than 0.05, you will go with the alternate hypothesis. So if p is less than 0.05 and you go with the null hypothesis, you're making an error. If p is greater than 0.05 and you go with the alternate hypothesis, again you're making an error. So this is what is producer risk and consumer risk for you, explained in just maybe a couple of minutes. Hope you liked it. Keep watching for more videos. Loved speaking to you. Have a wonderful day wherever you are.